Well, hello, my babies, and welcome to another wonderful live stream episode of Spiritual Tea Time with me, Reverend Patience. Tonight, we got that full moon going on with this blood moon, it's called because of the lunar eclipse. And so I know y'all been feeling it. And, according to some metaphysical and hoodoo beliefs, eclipses are not merely astronomical events, but spiritual occurrences that can impact a person's consciousness and energetic state. You're going to have some heightened dreams, increased mediumship abilities for my spiritual folks, are, and they're believed to be intensified with the spiritual energy during this eclipse, especially when it's a lunar eclipse. So, definitely during this time with this energetic shift that we are having, you can the energetic shift will bring people that can extremely noticeable, and depending on the person, so much so many output of doing work and doing nothing at all, as an eclipse can be too much for them. Hence, you may see people proclaiming danger, not to do work at this time. This is situational and conditional, yet it can apply to a lot of spiritualists, even especially us mediums. And personally, I do believe the energetic work you need to be doing, because eclipses are great for removing, is releasing and giving off and sacrifice everything that's not serving your highest good. Just chillax, put on the frequencies to help remove the sludge and everything and bring in that healing. Get rid of what's not serving your highest good. And plus, astrologically, we got planets going crazy and everything still. We got retrograde, we got Saturn returns to talk about, Pluto returns to talk about, Uranus, retrograde and returns. And to help me, and I'm so honored to have her back, is astrologist Beth Hansen. And we are going to get into it today because we are going to be talking about, especially for the lovely United States, Pluto and Uranus returns. And hi,
Yeah,
hi, honey, how are you?
I am doing great, Reverend Patience. I see we already got a few people in the chat here. Hello to
Yeah,
Constance Joy and Prime, I guess. I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, there's some really wild things that are going on with this particular moon because it is an blood moon eclipse. Isn't something that where we in the United States, the continental US, could see it, but definitely over there in Africa and Asia and also in Australia,
oh
they
yeah,
could actually see that eclipse.
but
Um,
we're definitely feeling it, baby.
oh
Woo!
my goodness. I've been
Oh
feeling
my
it all
God,
day
it hit me
long.
like a Mack truck this morning.
Yep. No, I thought I was all prepared for it, and I got my video posted last night, but this morning, whoo, I'm like, "What am I feeling?" And I'm just checking all the things, checking my energy, and I'm diabetic, checking my blood sugar. I'm like, "Nope, everything's fine there." And it's like, it just is that moon coming through. And what it's bringing with it is what's called a yod finger of God, and that is pointing directly at let's see here, I believe, yep, the North Node.
I bet it. I believe it.
So, yeah, it's pointing directly at the North Node in Aquarius. And where is it pointing from? Well, Venus in Leo and uh, Mars in Virgo. So the masculine and feminine are coming together. They're both in each other's type of sign. Since Leo is considered the yang or masculine, and Virgo is, of course, yin or feminine. And they're coming together saying, hey, we got to make peace. We got to make sure that community is good and safe and strong during this entire month. Because what else is happening is this entire month, we have a kite happening between Black Moon Lilith, the sun, and Jupiter being the top of the kite and the tail of the kite sort of shifting between the moon and North Node at this minute. But throughout the rest of the month, it's going to be North Node
Ooh,
and, South Node's in there too. So we've got Sun and South Node, all of those and Mercury making oppositions to the moon and the North Node today. And that means we are working our karma. We are working our highest purpose. We are working with our soul self, which is the sun. We are working with our spiritual inner magical self, which is the moon, and our intuition and our psychic abilities are being charged up. All of this is coming now, and also communications, because Mercury is also hanging out in Leo. So we've got a little stellium in Leo pointing towards that North Node and the moon. And that is huge. All of this pointing towards this moon.
yes.
And so, I'm lucky I live out in the middle of nowhere with just my dog and my cat out
Preach
here
it,
in a tiny
preach.
town.
Same here.
You know, you know,
Same here, girl.
if and I made this move like 3 years ago before I even got into true sidereal astrology, because the universe had a plan for me. And I needed to be in this space where I wouldn't be distracted by all the city lights and the city things and all the city people.
Girl, preach.
Because I gotta keep my energy clear.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Well, you know the
morning.
method behind my madness. People always,
Mhm.
because when I first moved up here, my husband was general manager of all the variety beauty supply chains there in Minneapolis. And
Mhm.
when I would tell people where we live, the city folk used to make fun of us so bad. But
Mhm.
people don't realize when you're people like you and me and how sensitive we are to other people's energies, it just sucks you dry. So when you have
Oh yeah.
major astrological things going on like this for
Mhm.
our literally not only for mental, emotional, and spiritual, but our physical health, because of how sensitive
Mhm.
we are, we got to be out, living out in the
Yep.
country and everything. So I don't blame you,
Absolutely.
girl. I'm on it with
No.
it, especially the older I
And
get.
I mean, it's totally that whole the witch moved to the woods for a reason.
Mhm. Exactly,
She
girl.
was an outcast. She chose to
Exactly.
live in the woods because
Exactly.
you cannot be around all those vibes all the time.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm in this beautiful Victorian house that my brother bought. So
I
and
love
that's
it.
like
I love
fine
it.
for me.
Oh, you are
Yep.
living my dream, girl. But the way my physical body is now, I would have if I had a house like that, I would have to have people living with me to help me clean the house because
Oh, yeah.
I live in a little split level cottage out in the
Mm,
woods, and shoot,
mhm.
I'm lucky if I can vacuum the floor half the time because the way my fibromyalgia gets during these
Ugh,
energy, like that's why today energetically, I was literally felt like a Mack truck hit me. You know,
right.
it was like you ever have those type of dreams that when you go to wake up, like the Impractical Magic when they exercise the stalker ex boyfriend
Mhm.
and he comes slamming down and goes into a million little pieces and they sweep him up.
Mhm.
I feel like
Mhm.
him when he falls down from the ceiling, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my God. And right when that happened, I checked the time and it was right when it was right at the peak of the eclipse.
Mhm.
And
Yep. Yep.
talk about a wake up call. I've
Mhm.
been seeing people posting about it all over the place, having these
Absolutely.
ascension symptoms and everything, like doing like how you felt, you're checking all the physical part, making sure it's not because of all the crap that's going around and everything.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's definitely doing a major, big one. And then you have, retrogrades going on still, that's
Oh my
amplified
goodness.
the
So many
energy.
retrogrades right now.
Eh,
Um, the long retrograde. So we've got all the outer planets are currently in retrograde.
Hmm.
Um, every actually including Saturn and beyond are all currently in retrograde. Um, so that's going on. That means, and also Chiron is retrograde at the moment. And so that is a reworking, a rethinking, a redoing of what we've been working on for these past many weeks. Um, and with Pluto's return in Capricorn, I'll have you know, not in Aquarius. Pluto is not in Aquarius. That is the tropical way of looking at things. They use um, they don't use the constellations. They consider them archetypes and symbols. And if that is your path, then that's fine. But I don't stop at the planets. I go all the way out to the stars. And so Pluto is in Capricorn, and that's the place it was during the American Revolution. And it moved into this sign in 2024. What else did we have in 24? An election, and it's going to be in this sign for a heck of a long time.
Oh yeah.
I don't have the numbers pulled up in front of me. But the other major outer planet that is currently in retrograde that is affecting the US really strongly is Uranus, and Uranus in Taurus in particular. Now, Pluto is there to basically be that fiery forging energy of forging something new on top of the mountain of Capricorn. And then Uranus is there to reset systems in Taurus, and these are both in earth signs. So this is actually happening on the ground. These are not things that are just ideas only. It's not just happening in areas of science. It is physical world changes, and that means world leaders, that means world systems, it means all systems. Social systems are being affected, our value systems are being affected, our
The
our
environment.
yeah, the environment for sure is being affected, and how we handle it is like the planet is saying, "Hey, you guys gotta straighten up and fly right because you're not in tune with the rest of the universe. You're not
Exactly.
in tune with your own galaxy. You're only, tuning out to Pluto for most of humanity." And that's why I switched to Sidereal, because it takes me further out and further in. The farther out you can go with your vibrations and connecting with the stars, the further in and up you can go with your spirit and your self-worth.
Mm.
And that is the magic of true sidereal astrology.
Oh yeah. They didn't want us
Yeah.
to know about it and everything because it actually, tells the whole truth and everything. I strongly believe in my personal study and history of the various forms of astrology from around the world. When tropical was formed, it was deliberate.
Mhm.
Okay,
It
if you know what
it
I
was
mean,
deliberate.
to lead the wrong path, and it so that's why I always, check up on things, still since the masses still, want to do I try to talk about both and everything, because, a lot of people, they have those blinders on and there's only tropical. That's it. Everyone else is, bullshit. And
Mhm.
I actually use a couple various forms of um, Asian style ones and to protect the elections, and not because I would voted for that person. I'm independent. I don't belong to any party. Personally, I hate politics because
Yep.
voting is an illusion of free will. It's all a lie. He's already pre-picked, but that's a different story. But anyways, the thing is that one thing I love about, finding that people found the, truth about it. And we got people like you who are able to come on the show and talk and, listen. people. This is what's going on. I want you
Mhm.
to either come through me or do your own personal research, but do the research. Go
Yep.
down the rabbit hole. And
And there are plenty of rabbit holes to go down. There's some great teachers. I can, there is my own channel on YouTube. It's at Harmony Goddess Astrology. If you just type in youtube.com, the at symbol and Harmony Goddess Astrology, all one word, take you right to my channel.
I
I tried
highly
joining in
recommend
the chat, but it wouldn't let me join in because I would normally put a link in there and there was some sort of error. I'm
it.
getting errors on my end because I live in the middle of nowhere and all of we don't have landlines here. We just have Wi-Fi from a tower from a town 17 miles away.
I oh I
So,
oh I feel you. I got luckily I was able to get mine through our cellular service, T-Mobile,
ah,
and
mhm,
um,
that's good.
otherwise we have like that CenturyLink, and that's god awful.
Oh, yeah, I started with that. Yeah, that's
Oh
from
my
the
god!
landline. That was DSL, and it was horrible. It was
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
horrible. But
So
I do
and
see
also
in the chat if I can respond to the chat, Constant talked about, being so sleepy, both her and her dogs. I'm like,
yeah,
"Yeah, I've got a Vizsla, and my Vizsla, other than running wild first thing in the morning and barking at nothing while I was sitting outside and having my coffee and doing my morning grounding, uh, after that, she's been, like, super quiet and like, "I'm just gonna lay down in the grass in the sunshine and sleep." And it's
actually, girl, she was barking at something.
oh, yeah, I'm sure. I just couldn't see it. 'Cause she was
Um,
going nuts, and I kept checking, and I didn't see rabbits, I didn't see
there's
squirrels,
a
I didn't see people, didn't see cars.
there's a
Mhm.
elemental that
Ah.
guards the land, and also there's a spirit of an old lady in that house.
Huh, interesting.
She looks like either it's hard to tell. It's either late 1800s or early 1900s style type
Mhm.
dress.
Okay. Well, that's
So
when this house was built, was, 1900. So
yeah, yeah. So I'm not surprised with what's going on and everything that it would be coming through. So
mhm.
so if you ever get like a sort of feeling of like if you guys are doing something around the house and all of a sudden you get this a big waft of negative energy, it's her.
Okay.
She's not wanting to say her name. She's a very stern woman. She is not like my type, if you know what I mean.
Uh-huh.
Actually, it's funny. Since I moved to the land of 10,000 legs, I have experienced so much racism in the spiritual world from these white ghosts up here
Oh
that I
my
never did in the
gosh.
South. I'm serious. Um,
Huh.
when I had a team of young people, paranormal team I was mentoring, and we did a investigation at the Boyd House there in Boyd, Minnesota, and the Mr. Boyd who owned the home and everything told me my kind wasn't welcome. I had my head wrapped up in the scarf like I usually do when I do spiritual work and everything. So it really emphasized, even though I'm light skinned and high yellow as I am, my African features. And
Mhm.
they had recorded me sitting in the attic because they have spirit of several of the children that had passed from yellow fever in the house.
Oh.
And so we did reading time with Reverend Patience, and I read The Three Little Pigs. And I, even really exaggerated. I made it was the Three Little Pigs sound like three little gay guys from East Berlin. And then, yes, I did it, girl. I did it. I had to. And then I made the wolf sound like a Cajun Rougarou from Louisiana. And
Nice.
the kids are around having they have those little voice box ghost box that pick up words and
Yeah.
stuff. When
Mhm.
I was done reading, all of them went
Mhm.
off one at a time saying applause, 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 because and then Mr. Boyd came out, and I said, well, hello
Mhm.
sir, good evening, did you hear me reading the story? And he asked if I was a slave.
Oh.
Oh yeah. I said, and I'm like, no, sir, this is the 21st century. Slavery in this country has been abolished for over 250 years, almost 300 years, sir. I'm what they call a free woman of color, a Creola. a Spanish Creole.
Mhm.
And he goes, "Well, your kind's not welcome." I said, "Well, tough luck, mister." I said, I'm the wrong type to be talking to like that. Disrespect me or hurt them in any way. And the people that own the house won't have this house to rent out anymore for investigating teams to come and rent as a haunted B&B to do investigations. Okay.
Mhm.
I'll close the spiritual portal in this whole fucking town. I said, don't mess with mines. There was a couple of them
Mhm.
that thought that they were going to bully us and everything. I had a little perfume bottle and everything, and it happened to be I forgot which moon it was, but it was a super moon during that weekend. But we were there, and there was a town bully who, because this town had a fixation of circus clown bands and dressing up as
Oh,
them.
wow.
Yeah, and this one kid who died of the yellow fever, dressed up as a clown, runs around and everything, and we caught the clown on. He messed with everybody and everything.
Mhm.
And I had a little perfume bottle I always keep with me as an emergency of Florida water, because it
Good.
could never be too protected, especially on investigations. And I had brought it with me and everything. And I was about to spray one of the kids, and he knocked it out of my hand.
Mhm.
And one of my other sensitives, the young lady I was help training to learn how to use her mediumship, abilities on investigation, she saw it and everything. And
Mhm.
she's terrified of clowns.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. So, but anyway, Um, that's a different story. The
That
thing,
is.
but seriously, I went this one place, the waterworks place down in St. Paul, um, when it used to be an old hotel and everything back in the late 1800s. It was also a Masonic lodge, and a couple of the gentlemen that were still there was pissed that all these women were walking around the lodge because, of course, yeah, even though it hasn't been a working lodge in over 100 years, they still see it that way. And they were
Oh, yeah.
pissed that women were in there. Oh my God. It was, I could have, old school ones. Today,
Mhm.
it's a lot more open minded, and all that kind of good stuff. But still, when we have knowledge like we do, talking about astrology, the craft, tarot, whatever it is, and I always find it funny that they all get up in their ego when they realize that we know more about it than they do. It drives it,
Mhm.
especially when they're a spirit. And I just
Oh,
look
yeah.
at them. I'm not a know-it-all. I never claimed to know it all. I'm just a nerd. Okay. I love to read. I love to learn. I'm a sponge. Okay. My grandma Henrietta, sweet little thing. You would have loved her. She was from Brunswick, Georgia. Had that soft Southern accent, like bless your heart, type of woman.
Mhm.
And she always told me, try to learn something new every day. Never stop learning because you can't learn everything. That's why we come back around so many times, baby. That's like
Mhm.
she used to tell me that all the time, and I got it. When you're little, you don't it in one ear out the other. But as I got older and everything, I realized she's right, and I'm proud to be a nerd. And if I don't know about something, I'm hyper focused. ADHD kicks in, and it's like I want to learn everything.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
that's how I got, into learning about sidereal and, the Vedic sidereal and the different forms of the Buddhist style zodiacs and, and also besides the tropical, because especially with the tropical discrepancies, does that make sense?
Mhm. Yep.
Something wasn't adding up. So
Yep.
thank you so much for coming on here and talking about what you have learned and sharing your knowledge. It makes my heart sing that you're actually doing this and helping people, encourage them to want to learn the real truth. you know and so with what the United States is going through, especially these next couple years with these returns, what can we, I mean, give it to us, even no matter how hard the truth is. What can we truly expect? Because what I have personally have been seeing It ain't looking too good, girl.
Well, here's the hopeful bit, and that is the Uranus return in Taurus, because
Right.
Uranus doesn't just reconstruct things or tear down and put up new systems for no reason. There is always a higher good involved. So this is our third Uranus return. The first was during the Civil War, where we got rid of slavery. And the second was during World War II, where we stepped in and, helped save the day and stop the Nazis. But also, that was at the same time that the United Nations was formed, um, bringing a lot more clarity to the entire world, and at at least some sort of, at least spoken accountability, and saying, you have to play by the rules in the world, not that people aren't lying, cheating, and stealing and doing all those things. But Uranus is grounding in Taurus, rewiring us personally. So if you can tap into that Uranus energy, this means your electromagnetic systems, which include your spiritual powers, can be upgraded. And this is going to be
Yes.
going on through 2033. So this is a long transit, because Taurus is a very lot, takes a big chunk out. It's more than 30 degrees, as is Virgo and Leo and Pisces. So those are the largest signs. And Sagittarius is also the other one that's larger than 30 degrees. Some are quite small, um, and are only 20 some degrees across or less, as with Ophiuchus and uh, Scorpio. But I digress. Back to everything Uranus is having for us. The more of us that connect and download these new codes, whether you call them star codes or spiritual evolution, uh, spiritual awakening of what your true code was supposed to be, more of us do that, the more it resonates into the grid of planet Earth, the more people are able to make real world changes, because this is happening in Taurus, which is the gardener, which is the farmer, which is all about growth and steady, secure growth. It's all about security in Taurus. And yeah, there's radical things happening in order to make these changes. But for those of us who are willing to walk hand in hand with Uranus, we are going to basically decide what the new framework is going to be for society, for spirituality, for astrology. I can't wait till 2033 to see where true sidereal astrology is going to be, because this month, and like I said, there's this kite formation that's happening in the sky right now. That's going to be going on all month long. And you know who else is involved in it? Jupiter in Gemini and Black Moon Lilith in um Libra. So
Mm.
those are like the two wings, the two outer points of this kite, which is carrying us to confront the roots of our personal world tree, our tree of life, and take care of what needs to be taken care of in that Leo space, and not be all performative, but be authentic and be true and shine brighter.
The
And then,
illusions are going to be burned away.
mhm,
That's what I keep
and that
hearing.
that's definitely happening. The other thing that it's bringing in is just, it's going to be happening all month long. So this is going to be a big month. The yod only lasts for a few days, and that's the finger of God pointing to the north node. So that eventually will move on as as Venus and Mars, continue on their respective journeys. But there's going to be a lot of shifts and changes. There's going to be some wonderful things happening. There's opportunities for change. But keep in mind, we chose our incarnation. We chose to live now. We chose to live in the space. We chose to connect online through Reverend Patient's YouTube channel. And, all of this are choices that we are currently making. The thing about sidereal astrology, it's not like the planets have decided what your life is. You get to decide how much you want to resonate with the energy they're putting out, how
Yes,
much you're willing to
exactly.
accept.
Use the
And
energy to your advantage. Don't let the energy use you, man. That's why we
yeah,
always say go with the flow.
the only time it really pushes you around is when there's like a square in your chart, and then it's like demanding you have to make a choice or a choice will be made for you.
Oh yeah, and then that's when you have these major, tower moments going on, and you wonder, it's bad luck that you're receiving, and it's not. It's because
Mm-mm.
folks are stubborn and they don't want to work on themselves, and it's like, you know what, you got no choice.
Yep.
It's
Spirit
gonna
says,
happen whether you like it
"Okay,
or not. You don't want to let go.
okay."
Well, we're gonna cut the cord for you. You know.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. You've been born. What are you waiting for? You get up there and start walking around. Cut the
Hmm.
cord.
Either it's
You've
because they're
you've
too
been.
lazy to put in the work, or they're too stubborn to put in the work. Either way,
Mhm.
you know, universe is gonna come along and give you that spanking whether you like it or not. And make
Right.
you snap to, make you have no choice. You know, and so definitely,
Well, I mean, you always have a choice, and we always choose comfort over discomfort. And it's
right.
like, you know what?
And there's consequences to our choices. Yep.
If you know your chart, you know where your discomfort areas that you signed up for are, and they're just to push you forward on your path. And the
Exactly.
more you can accept that and release yourself into that, the more flow you have, and that
Amen.
stubbornness becomes discipline. I mean,
Exactly.
you can beat your head up against a brick wall all you want, but the wall will win.
Exactly. It's better to learn how to climb than it is to, fight it,
Mhm.
you know.
Yep. Or go around or go another way because
Ex-
it's all mapped out there for you, and we're always getting clues and signals. And I always view these different connections, because that's what they are. They're mathematical equations that connect via certain angles, with the earth at the center, that are the aspects. These lines that I see in the middle of the chart, they're like an instrument you can play. And I'm like, okay, which one are you going to play today? Are you going to play this trine that's there, that's part of the kite, which is hanging out and making things flow in a very big, wonderful, transformative way without as much pain that you would get from Uranus? But even Uranus and Pluto are currently trying themselves. And they're also sextile to, uh, and I view sextiles, it's like the little asterisk on the chart. If you've looked at charts and wondered what that is, it's a shorter distance aspect. It's a smaller degree angle of being closer to each other. And then, so Uranus and Pluto are connecting to um, Saturn and Neptune. And Saturn currently is at 9 degrees and it's retrograde. And Neptune is at 11 degrees and it's retrograde. And yeah, just that little asterisk, that is like they're holding hands, like they're getting together, they're baking a cake, they're making love.
Yep.
There's love making happening here between these signs. They're making something beautiful, and this is a shape that's going to be around for months and probably years for some of these aspects because they are such slow moving planets.
True.
The first one who's going to move out of this is going to be Saturn, because that only takes 29 years to get all the way around
Hmm.
our ecliptic. But the others, they have much longer ones. Like, with Pluto, it's 100 and what is it, 149 years, 148 years, almost 250 or more or longer. Yeah, from 1776 to 1924. I mean, 2024, my goodness. Math. I can't do math in my head, so why am I even trying? That's why I'm a visual learner. That's why I have a chart in front of me. That's why I can see
Right.
patterns. I
It's
detect
all
them and
good. It's
energy is
all
what
good. They
Okay.
get this. Oh,
So
real quick, let me
go
shout out to my girl here, Divine B TV, which is our spiritual advisor on Indigo Psychics, Heba
oh,
Cleopatra. She says, "Hey, soul family, happy full moon."
oh yeah, happy full moon, happy eclipse season, and happy all of the things and all the beautiful changes that are coming our way.
Yeah, because we got
Um,
another partial lunar eclipse, oh, excuse me, solar eclipse on the 21st, right around
yeah.
equinox.
Yeah. Yeah, partial solar eclipse followed by the equinox. Yep, bing bang boom. It's that kind of month. It is
Mm.
that kind of month. And
I'm
yeah, I want to do a more of a deep dive video on that.
Kathy
If
Hughes says hi.
I Hey Kathleen, how are you doing? It's good to see people in the chat.
And also
So
a shout out to Danny Chin. Thank you for joining us. He says blessings all.
Mhm. Oh,
Sorry,
thanks,
didn't get a
Danny.
chance. And everybody else, I didn't get a chance to say hello to everybody. Um, Definitely with everything that's going on, try to use these eclipses as to open the doors that you've been trying to have open for you, you know,
Mhm.
by removing the sledge. Oh, Kathleen says, I'm okay. I'm a little stressed. Girl, get that lavender on, or frankincense or some clary sage and slap on a frequency or two to help you relax.
Mhm.
Drink some chamomile tea
Yep,
or some
for
kava
sure.
kava tea and relax.
Mhm.
Stress, it's not
Yeah.
good for the body, mentally, emotionally,
Nope.
spiritually, honey. Okay?
Step outside, breathe the fresh air, go hug a tree, touch
Yes,
grass. All those things
girl.
are super
Yes.
helpful.
Especially during this eclipse, everything in this full moon. Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Costa Rica Vegan in New York says, "Good afternoon, ladies."
Good
Kathleen,
afternoon.
Kathleen said, "I love hyssop." Yep, that's a very good one as well. Actually, take some of that hyssop and make a boil some up. Besides making a good spiritual bath out of it and everything, use of it to wash your front door and everything. Because this would be a good time for because I know a lot of people, try to go out there to scare all the newbies and everything that you're not supposed to be doing anything. Eclipses, especially during this type of full moon and everything, are great for removing the bullshit. Okay,
Mhm.
especially when you've been under spiritual attacks and everything, and hyssop is good for that. It helps break out anything that's been thrown at you, jealousy, evil eye, envy. If someone throwing curses or hexes or whatever that's been going on, use this blood moon to remove and everything. You know, like how they used to do in ancient times and anoint the threshold with the in a spiritual way. Anoint your threshold with the blood and everything. Claiming that covering of protection, and this is a good time to re-amp up spiritual wards around your home. You know, especially when you got that stuff going on. She says, yes, I really should. I'm trying to remove all that. I'm hoping maybe ask about my financial situation. Do you mind if I throw some cards real quick?
Please do. Let's do some readings.
You got your cards?
I do.
Okay. Well, oh yeah, Goth Rican, that's a good one. Hell yes, Epsom salt at least. Yep, I got that. My Dr. Teal's with lavender is my favorite. Okay. If you guys want some readings and everything, besides Miss Kathleen, put your question in the comments, okay? So Miss Kathleen wants to know about her financial situation. All right. Oh, they're saying there's too much mischief going abroad around your finances right now. You need to, because you're stressing, you need to stop and make a commitment to changing your mindset. You need to let go of the how, when, and where, and how these finances are coming to you. Okay. Easy way to do it is taking advantage of your subconscious, especially during this time and everything. Get into the frequencies, the 528, 432, anything dealing with your lower three chakras, the sacral, sacral, and root chakras. You can find those type of right here on YouTube and everything. Frequencies that go with that. To let go. Yep. Release card came out. You got to release those fears and that worry, because when you start stressing over things, you cause blockage. Because we are our own worst enemy. We can light all the candles and incense and everything, but if our mind's not in the right spot, we're neutralizing any type of prayer or spell that we're doing for what we're trying to manifest. Okay? What you get?
I actually pulled the 5 of Pentacles for Kathleen, which is exactly spot on what you were saying. It's like the sanctuary is near at hand, you're just not seeing it. So
Right.
it is a there's some sort of limiting belief there, and I know those are hard to strip bare, but just know this, that the universe has got your back. The universe wants to pay you for being alive. You do not have to go out and get a job. But, those are the ways we know how to bring money in. But this prosperity that is waiting for you, Spirit is saying that there is something waiting for you. There is a sense of sanctuary that'll give you a respite. Um, as you reconfigure your understanding, and that's straight from my spirit guides.
Yep. She needs to stop battling with her mindset and everything and learn to release and let go of, like you said, the limited beliefs. And the easy way to do that is taking advantage of your sleep, listening to the frequencies or subliminal affirmations, to help get you in that right healing mindset toward your finances and everything. So you're not in that lack mindset and you're always worrying where the next penny's coming. Because when we're in that mindset, especially as spiritual folk, that's an insult to the universe and the gods and your ancestors. You've always been protected, you've always been provided for. It's always going to come. So, got to let go of the how, when, and where. Okay. And just get, because you're stuck in your masculine energy where you're chasing after. You need to get back into your yin, your divine feminine, and say, I don't chase, I attract what I need,
Mhm.
receive easily and effortlessly. Start making that part of your daily mantra, daily affirmations, and everything. You know. Okay. She says, "Ooh, huh, I needed to hear that. I'm actually hoping for a windfall to create my own business." All right. As we say in the South, baby, pray it up and walk away. You put in all the spell work. Now it's time to do the meditation work, taking advantage
Mhm.
of sleep and everything. You know, Even the Dalai Lama, I say it all the time. You can look it up. Dalai Lama himself says the best form of meditation is sleep. You know.
Mhm.
Oh, let me see.
Yep, and he also thinks that God was probably a woman.
Well, in
I
the
saw him live and he talked about, everybody loves their mother the most.
that's
Um,
that's the first word of God of any child. Even the traditional Bible in Aramaic, it's not our Father. It says, "O great birther of the universe," talking
mhm,
to Asara, which is
mhm.
the wife of God. So
Yep.
yeah, but people don't want to recognize that. Next, I have Delray Johnson. Excuse me, Delroy Johnson. My bad. I'm sorry for saying your name wrong, baby.
Oh, Divine BTV also asked for a general read at a little bit before that. They're both
Okay.
here. So
All right.
got
Okay.
Delroy
First,
and Divine
all
B.
right. Do my girl Heba first. Okay. What does she need to know right now? Mm. Girl, yeah, you need to keep up your discerning and everything because you got people mimicking you, and you know what that's about, especially after what you posted for the 13th. Yeah. Also, to watch out for people trying to the frauds are out there that will see your light, especially with the spiritual stuff you're doing on your social media. Watch out for the frauds, people making fake accounts. What you get, Beth?
Okay. Um, so what I got was the Ace of Pentacles. So there's definitely a new beginning that will come out of whatever's going on in your life right now. Um, Something solid and something that is going to be very grounded for you. I don't know. I did just keep pulling these pentacles. I keep
Yeah,
shuffling the deck and they keep coming up because apparently the pentacles are
confirmation.
coming through. Yep.
Confirmation.
Hmm.
She said, "Nice."
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I love hearing good news like that. Okay, for Delroy Johnson, this is please read in dealing with persistent attack or entities. What's going on? Uh, okay, I got observation, insight, and gifts. The thing is, baby, you're coming into these new psychic abilities you didn't have before. A lot of people in the collective are and everything, because a lot of people during these, especially when eclipse happen, whatever was sealed is being unsealed, if that makes sense. And especially during this full moon and everything. So definitely you need to start working on because they're attracted to your light because malevolent entities and spirits, they love taking advantage of people who are not properly trained in their gifts. That's how folks like us who are untrained get stuck in mental asylums, having schizophrenia, paranoia problems, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So definitely find yourself a good teacher. I myself can teach you how. You can always contact me through my website, indigopsychic.com. The link is right there in my channel description, um, and learn how to get more in tune and learn how to protect yourself and everything. So, um, I hope that was helpful. Oh, and Divine BTV said, "Thank you, ladies." It was
Oh,
our.
you're very welcome.
What did
Um,
you get for Delroy, baby?
I got the 8 of Swords, that they want you to think you're trapped, but you're not. You can break through this and you can get rid of them. And
Yes,
there's a way out, and you are not, you're not as stuck as you think you are. Um, there, just take off the blindfold. And like, Reverend Patience says, there's been an upgrade that's happening, especially, I think you're going to see within the next few days some shifts based on what the energy is in the universe right now and what's being put out on the planet and what Reverend Patience and I are putting out for this chat, because all of us are connected through energy. And I'm really feeling that for you and knowing that you can break free. It just might seem trapped and stuck, and just unstick your mind. Open that door in your mind, and you're going to find things flooding through that are going to help deal with these attacks and
exactly.
what is going on. Hmm.
A real quick, easy way: get yourself some lavender and start anointing your crown because that's where they love to attach and everything.
Hmm.
Like I always talk about, putting on the 5 pointed crown, take your lavender, middle of your forehead, on the third eye, your left and right temple, and the back of your neck, left and right side. Put your crown on daily, once in the morning when you wake up and once before you go to bed at sleep. Okay?
Yep.
because when you have these type of gifts, it is crucial, my babies. Okay, even my seasoned practitioners, I have to get on and everything because you come complacent, especially during these eclipses when the veil is thinning. Y'all need to step up your spiritual protection, okay? Because it ain't just physical people you got to worry about. They love taking advantage of y'all and everything and siphoning off your energy, especially during something like this of a blood moon. So please, my babies, start making a daily habit, make it a part of your daily routine. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Remind yourself you are royalty. I must put my crown on, and then boom, 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 but you're 5 points on your head, you know? And trust me, I can always tell when one of my babies, I mean, from closest friends to one of my students, they come giving me these big, long paragraphs, stressed out like a motherfucker, excuse my language. But oh my goodness. And then all I say to them, you forgot to put your crown on today. Oh my God, how can you tell? Seriously? Seriously? Anxiety makes me want to go throw up. You know? It's like, go put your crown on, baby, and everything. And then after you've calmed down for a minute, then come back and talk to me after you're done, you know?
Mhm.
Okay. After, okay. Constance Woo Woo wants to know a request reading about healing fibroid and endometriosis. I don't need to do a reading for that, baby. I am a licensed natural health coach, and I have a master's in herbalist um, and herbology, specializing in women's health, and definitely start looking into taking turmeric. Um, look at the processed foods that you're eating and everything, because you could be having processed, chemicalized soybean, which causes a toxic form of estrogen, and this is what's causing a lot of the fibroid and endometriosis problems in women. Start listening to frequencies that heal the sacral, sacral, and root chakras, especially the sacral and sacral, and also to start also to, if you can, go to an herbalist and have the especially someone who is a holistic practitioner, and help them go over your womb. You explain to them this is what I need and everything, or you can do the research yourself. Go into your Google or whatever and say what herbs do you need for fibro and endometriosis, and that will pull up and do start doing your own personal research on it and everything. But and then also to start listening as well, just nightly, the frequencies especially and everything. Oh, Delroy says, I appreciate that. And of course, I got static interruption right then. So I'll have to listen to replay.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they trying, baby. They trying. Yeah, another good way when you're dealing with this type of stuff, because it is so crucial when you are folks like Miss Beth and I, that you have to keep your home your sanctuary from the world. Like we talking about how we live in the woods. If you live in, especially an urban area, it is crucial that you get off your lazy behind and physically and spiritually clean your house at the same time. And an
Yep.
easy way to do that, especially dealing with negative bullshit, excuse me, negative entities, good old fashioned pine sol. Okay. That has real
Oh my,
pine,
yeah, that'll do it.
that has pine resin in it. That will chase them right
Mhm.
out. If you don't like the smell of pine, you can always do ammonia with some lemon juice. White Do mix white vinegar and lemon juice and sea salt, and pray Psalms 23 over it. Um, Make it as a good disinfectant spray for physical and spiritual and cleaning of the home. Um, Also, any form of lavender scent, um, anything of citrus, of like orange or lemon and everything. And also, to start playing the 417 frequency. That drives out anything negative. They got plenty of, how
Okay.
you can download the YouTube um, app to your smart TV, download it, and then find that frequency and then put it on full blast while you physically clean your house. That's one of my specialties and everything.
Okay,
And if the
let's
weather
remind
permits,
me.
open
What
the window.
frequency is could you remind me what frequency that is? 417?
Yes, that gets rid of any form of malevolent energy, physically, mentally, emotionally. It removes it. But then right afterwards, I play the 528 or the 432 to help bring in positive energy and blessings.
Perfect.
And one of my favorites that has the 528 and the 417 embedded with money affirmations is called Money Storm Subliminal.
Mm.
I play it every time it says it's going to rain. And
Oh, nice.
yes, and
Making it
trust me,
rain.
I'm serious.
Nice.
It's called Money Storm Subliminal. It's right here on the YouTube. I play it all the time. As soon as I hear a little bit of rain falling, I put it on, child. And I've been listening to it for years. I tell people about it all the time because I'm one of those ones. I have no problem, promoting anything. If it works, I do not preach on it. Because I make sure I try something before I talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And I've had friends of mine, even my partner in crime, my business partner, for years wouldn't try it, and then after girl, and other friends of mine that were stubborn about now they're avid people. As soon as I mention about it to people, they're like, "Oh my god, these frequencies are light." I said, yeah, because it's using the power of the subconscious and everything. When we're asleep, all that self-sabotaging mindset is keeping us from our delicious lives that we deserve to live are turned off. The frequencies goes right to the subconscious. And for you people who are mega atheists, science proves that our subconscious is way more powerful than our waking conscious mind and everything, if you want to get technical. So definitely this is using science, this is using spiritual, all at the same time. Start doing your research about them, because trust and believe me, you can find a frequency for everything that you could think of that's what's going on with you physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, if you do your research. And it will prove to you that everything is energy, no matter what you believe in or don't believe in. Wink, wink.
Mhm.
You know
Well,
what I mean?
yeah. I mean, all you have to do is go listen to Star Talk and Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about, you know, the resonance, and that's why, things are
Oh,
happening in the universe the way they are.
oh,
Resonance is real.
yeah, girl. Oh my God. Schumann resonance. That's another thing. The reason why you felt like a body slam and a spiritual Mack truck hit us this morning. Schumann resonance
Mhm.
has been popping off like a MF for the last months now, because certain fools are playing with toys they shouldn't be playing with. Hint, hint. I'm not going to say any names because I don't want to get in trouble. But
Mhm.
you know what I mean if you've been down that rabbit hole. And especially since they've been playing with it back in June, the Schumann resonance has been amplifying everything megally. Oh my god. And
Mhm.
and we had a huge burst right at the peak. So that explains a lot, especially if y'all are feeling that as they say full moon hangover energetically. Don't try to push yourselves, have a lazy Sunday and just nap and take advantage of it. You know what I mean? If you can, just put it off until tomorrow. Because during these times, even though you get that boost of energy, sometimes it's you need to work on self care. You got to put yourself
Yeah.
first. You
Think of
know.
it as you just got an energy upgrade. Number 1, hydrate. Make sure you are drinking plenty of water, because that will help integrate this energy into your system.
Yes.
And so that will help make things flow a little bit better and help you keep you grounded and being able to manage it on the physical level a little bit better, and also just allowing things to happen on the spiritual level with connection to water.
Especially if you can drink it from a real copper cup,
Yeah.
because that
Yeah.
both physically and spiritually helps you be able to conduit even more, using the combination of the water and the copper together. And also it's great for the immune system as well.
Mhm.
Because definitely, people, please make sure you take this time to work on yourselves. Don't fight it anymore. Use these energies to your advantage to remove the karmic sludge of this life, past lives, whatever it is that's holding you back. You know, don't be afraid anymore, because it's necessary pruning, as you know, like you said, you're talking about the gardener and the farmer. It's time to clear out the weeds that stifle it, so you can have that growth, so you can have that delicious life, because we all deserve to have a beautiful life on our terms and everything, but we got to put in the work. So please take advantage of these energies. So before we close out, because it's been a fabulous time, I can't wait to have you back on the show, my sister. Will you please let everyone know, from your YouTube channel to your social media to your websites, how they can get a hold of you?
Well, absolutely. Let's start with my website, harmonygoddess.com. I do have a free chart calculator for True Sidereal on there. And if you are new to that, you might want to check that out and put your info and find out what sign your sun was really in, what constellation your sun was really in. Then I also have on that same page towards the bottom, there's a link to my free True Sidereal guide, where if you click on that and just give me your name and email, I will send you the link to download that. And you'll also get my weekly updates with what's coming up for the week with my forecast for the week. And let's see. So, and my YouTube channel is at Harmony Goddess Astrology. So if you just type in youtube.com/ the @ Harmony Goddess Astrology, all one word, you will find me. Um, and I have well over 20 videos now on this type of astrology. I am going to be going back to my point of origin, the Women's Spirituality Conference at the end of the month, hooking up with Julie Cuccia Watts. So that's going to be a live event I'm going to be at in Minnesota. So if you've never been, I recommend it. It is a great time for women to get together and share their spiritual gifts and wisdom with each other. So those are the things I have coming up. I am on Facebook. Just search, I believe, my Facebook group is Harmony Goddess Circle. Yeah, Harmony Goddess Circle on Facebook. And you can join in the group, and Reverend Patience is in there, and we have some other wonderful people. But that's where I'm going to be posting all the news of the weeks as well after I send it out to my list. So I really
Awesome.
appreciate you. Thank you for having me on. Your wisdom and your stories are just tremendous and such a blessing. And I love a good story. My last boyfriend was a novelist. So I just love, love, love a good story. And you certainly have those from your experiences and from how you've helped other people. So yeah, get together, people, tell your stories, join us online whenever you can.
Thank you, everyone, and have a good night.